Has Ubisoft given up on Google Stadia? Nope. Let's try that again. Is Assassin's Creed Mirage not coming to Stadia the final nail in the cloud gaming platform's coffin? Sorry guys, that's definitely not it. Let's just do it one more time. How could Google let this happen to us?
Are you listening?
Alright, obviously the big story on everyone's mind is the news that Assassin's Creed Mirage might not be coming to Google Stadia, as following the game's announcement over the weekend, Stadia was not listed as an available platform. What? Yeah, in fact, the Ubisoft landing page for Assassin's Creed Mirage does not even mention Stadia. But it does confirm PlayStation, Xbox, Amazon Luna, and the Epic Game Store as all being places that you can play Assassin's Creed Mirage. You know what? Let me just call Phil Harrison real quick and get to the bottom of this. Just give me 1 second.
The number you dialed is not in service.
That's strange. He's usually very responsive. Now, Assassin's Creed Mirage not arriving on Google Stadia is a big deal, as since the launch of Stadia, Ubisoft has probably been the largest developer supporting the platform. However, following this weekend, it seems like that bromance just might be over.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Now, I know all of you are watching this, hoping that I did some journalistic digging, reached out to my sources, and get some exciting new details, and of course I did. However, no one really knew what the hell was going on. That being said, there's still hope. A solution so dangerous, so medieval, it's been banned from YouTube for a quarter of a century. Will Assassin's Creed Mirage come to Google Stadia? Oh my god! Has Ubisoft given up on Stadia as a platform? Why won't Phil Harrison answer my emails? Now, dark magic aside, there are some obvious answers to a lot of the questions that you may have. Has Ubisoft given up on Google Stadia? Well, the answer to that is no. During the same Forward event, Ubisoft listed Google Stadia as an available platform for upcoming games like Trackmania, Just Dance 2023, Season 4 of Riders Republic, and Skull and Bones. Now that being said, Ubisoft also excluded Stadia from the 15th anniversary of the Assassin's Creed trailer, but even saying that doesn't make this hurt any less. Has Ubisoft given up on cloud gaming? No! Ubisoft is still bringing the Assassin's Creed series to Amazon Luna, which granted, currently Amazon Luna is region locked to the United States, so for international gamers, that's definitely a big L. So if Amazon Luna is region locked, why would Ubisoft choose Amazon Luna over Stadia? And that, my friends, is where things get really interesting. And shout out to friend of the show, Will Rivera, who I think nails this on the head, because Amazon Luna is a Windows-based cloud gaming platform, whereas Stadia runs on Linux. So for developers to port their games to Luna, well, it's pretty much just like the PC version of the game, so it's an easy port. And while Stadia, on the other hand, is making some major effort to fix their porting challenges with things like low change porting. Though it is definitely worth noting that of the initial partners for Stadia's low change porting program, Ubisoft is nowhere to be found. But obviously, with the likes of Skull and Bones, Trackmania, and Just Dance, Ubisoft must have the whole porting thing figured out, right? Well, again, this comes back to the old argument of cost versus benefits. The Stadia player base is relatively small compared to other platforms like PlayStation or Xbox. So for Ubisoft to justify an entire team to create a Linux port of the game just for it to be on the Stadia platform, that might not be worth the payoff with how many players Stadia has brought to Assassin's Creed games in the past. Also, when comparing Luna to Stadia, Luna is home to a ton of Ubisoft titles that Stadia doesn't have, with Luna's Ubisoft Plus library having 11 more games than Stadia, including games like Starlink, Far Cry 2, Far Cry 4, the Assassin's Creed Chronicles, and Steep. So yeah, it kind of makes sense that Luna might be an easier port than Stadia. But all of this brings us back to the issue that I think many of us have had with Stadia for a while. The speculation. I am getting so tired of this whole, will the game come? Why wasn't the logo listed at the end of the video? Only for the game to be announced a week before launch. And look, shadow drops are cool, but when it's literally done for every single game on the platform, it kind of loses its effect. Stadia as a platform is going into its 4th year and its 3rd anniversary as a service. And it's still crazy to me that we have to have conversations like this far in. I mean, I literally had to order a Magic 8-Ball off Amazon because at this point, this gives me more insight into what's going on at Stadia than what Google does. And the other thing that's worth pointing out is that anyone saying, trust me bro, the game is definitely coming, trust me, the game will arrive on Stadia. Those people are going off of the same information as the rest of us, so take that as you will. Will the game come to Stadia? Possibly. Eventually, we might see the announcement or even the game arrive on the platform. But for me, even more concerning than Mirage potentially not coming to Stadia is how are we still having this same conversation after 3 years?